Hey Gwenters, and welcome back for another episode of Gwenting. This is going to be a first in a longer series of how to play the game, intros for beginners, and a lengthier description of definitions in the game. We're going to talk about what all the cards do, what the different cards are, the unit cards, special cards, artifact cards, all in later videos. Today I just want to focus on how you navigate the game. I've heard from several players that this can be confusing, at least for your first few times playing, and I want to make sure you have plenty of opportunity to get hooked just like me and the other Gwenters out there. Alright, let's get into it. As always with any game, you just want to boot it up. Click on the app, open her up. You'll get the wonderful, lovely, and beautiful loading screen associated with the current journey right now with Geralt on his horse and Dandelion standing, singing his ballads. Then all you gotta do is click to open. Now, after you've completed the tutorial, which I'm not gonna get into today, but if you have questions, let me know. It's pretty self-explanatory. You will get this loading screen at the beginning of every time you log in. Over here on your left-hand side are your daily crowns. That's how many crowns you've received. You receive one crown whenever you complete one round that you win. So the more crowns you get, the more progress you get, and as you complete 24, you get special rewards. Also, as part of Journey, as you complete each set of 20, you will receive a new set of rewards in the Journey book, but we don't really need to get into that right now. Next, that will show your current ranking and your progress on the current portrait. So right now, you can see I'm rank 7, and I'm working on this portrait. Basically, you need to complete enough games in a row to complete the portrait, to get the portrait, and then oftentimes if you've won 3 in a row, you'll need to win 1 more to progress to the next ranking. The idea here is essentially that you need to win a net number of games in a row without losing those number of games all over again in order to progress to the next rank. Finally, you'll see your current level. You don't need to pay too much attention to this when you're a new player, but just know that once you hit level 60, you'll start back over at level 0 again and do what's called prestige. The next 10 times you reach level 60, each time you will receive a special reward. So right now, for me, I can reset my daily quest twice instead of just once, and that's what is right below. So you'll see down here, you can get a new quest every 24 hours. You can see mine, I'm waiting 3 hours and 33 minutes for the next one to open up. But right now, I'm working on one that is play 60 special cards. If I complete that, I will get 2 keys, which are used in the reward books later on. I made one video about that quite a while ago, but we'll get into the definitions a little bit more today. But let's just move right in. So, there's a lot that goes on this home screen. I think the biggest things, though, that you need to worry about as a new player is basically just how to play a game. Now, let's say you skip tutorial and you have no idea what you're doing. All you need to worry about is this button right here, play. Alright, but before we jump in there, I want to just cover what these other buttons are because I'm guessing you're wondering just like I was. So let's start from the top left and work our way down. This is your current avatar and border. You can select these in your character screen just by clicking on your name, like this. So here you go. You have a favorite card. You can change that by clicking on it. You have your name. You also have a title that's just below that. It'll show the total number of good games you received, your favorite contracts, how many you've completed, the total number of cards that you have for each stack, and how many games you've won overall. As you can see, I really like Scoia'tael. Nilfgaard has been pretty meta lately, so I've been playing them a lot, but I do also really love Syndicate. They're a lot of fun to play. And conveniently, they have just made the meta with their Horde leader ability. But I'll make a video on that later. Here's your trinkets. This is where all of your avatars go after you've gotten them. You can scroll through here and choose any of the ones you want. You can see some of these journey avatars as well, like these Geralt pictures, and when you click on them, they'll fill in your avatar. These don't matter for gameplay, they're just kind of a nice association where you can personalize your character. So here you can choose the borders, you can choose your titles here, then you can also choose your favorite card. We'll get into how you can make cards animated like this, but note that only animated cards can become your favorite card. Finally, there's contracts and your ranked score. These are a little bit more complex. If you've seen my lengthy video series on contracts, I have about 7 videos out that cover 8 different contracts. Get in there, get these contracts, get those keys, get more cards. That's the key here, but we'll cover that in a later video. Rank score is just basically how you are in the international rankings. You can see here what your total MMR is, and it gives you a detailed description on the left-hand side how that's calculated, but the math is more complex than even that. Just know that you need to hit 25 games per faction each season to get your maximum score. Alright, with that out of the way, Arena is locked until you're level 10. It's a ton of fun, but we'll do a separate video series on that. Journey is open anytime, and if you click on that, as you've seen in my previous video, you have the standard on the top row and the premium that you can buy for $10 and unlock on the bottom row. You can get more keys here, you can get avatars, and you can even get handy trophies that Geralt can wear on his belt. I currently just unlocked Roach, and he's a lot of fun to play with. Then over time you can also get free cards, new borders. It's a lot of fun. Then finally there's Deck Builder. Deck Builder allows you to build new decks by choosing cards. When you have duplicates of cards, you'll notice that you get extra cards that are milled into new scraps and new meteorite ore. We'll cover this in a bit, but just note that this is an important way for you to progress through the game, get new cards, and have a lot more fun. Cards are really the key to opening up more possibilities in this game, and they'll also, as you get new cards, you'll learn new tricks to do with them. You'll also better understand why people are making the decisions they're making when you're playing against them, and improve as a player yourself. But again, deck building is a bit more complex. You don't even really need to do that when you're a new player. Otherwise, on top you can see your total reward keys, your ore to buy new kegs, your scraps to build new cards that you want specifically, the meteorite ore to make them shiny and turn into animated gifts, then the number of kegs you have on hand. Then finally there's the shop, and on bottom you have your options, you have the reward book, and then you have the rankings. Finally, on the left hand side you can see here is they always have a new description of things that are in the store or new announcements in the game. You can see here are new ornaments. The one prior to this was just saying that there are the new journey is available. This is a brand new update to the game in this current season of the Elves. And finally, you can always see the updated patch notes. These are important to the game because they change some of the cards in order to keep the game more balanced. Finally, I think here that's important is this social panel. Now this is really small, but it matters a lot, especially during this coronavirus season, to interact with your friends and family and start games with them. So in order to start a game with a friend or family, you'll click on this social panel. It'll open on up. You can see your journey is available here on this bottom tab. Sorry, I just clicked out accidentally. This shows your progress in the current journey, how many games you've won, how many more you need to get in order to move on to the next reward, and then how many you need to get a special reward as part of your ongoing 24 crowns. Not a ton you need to worry about there, especially as a new player, but it's good to keep in mind. Now, in order to see your quests, you click on the middle one with the exclamation point. This will show you your daily quests. If you've enabled a seasonal quest, it'll show up here in the season of whatever the season is. Currently it's Elves. You can see here I need to win 15 rounds. I've won 12. And then finally you can see your track quests and contracts. And I've made a bunch of videos about this. This is important just so you can see your progress. But you can watch those videos and we'll get more into those later. Finally, you have your friends here. Now, you can find a friend. We'll just type in friend. See what comes up. When you click search, it will search for somebody who has that name. I don't know who this person is, so I'm not going to add them. But you'll click them, you'll press send an invite. If they have sent you an invite instead, you will see under pending, pending will show a 1, or if you have more than that, multiple numbers. You click on that and you'll be able to accept that friend's invite. Then, if you have already become friends, you've accepted them or they've accepted you after receiving an invite, then you can click on their name and you can click view profile to see what they're all about. This is my sister actually, and we have a bunch of fun together playing the game, although we have a lot more work to do to play more often. And then we also have My wife and my brother and my mother-in-law all love playing this game. So for whatever reason, sometimes there are some errors with this, but most of the time you can click on their name. Even if they're offline, it will show they're offline sometimes, but they are actually online. And then you can press challenge, and this will send them an invite to play a game with you. Once you press that button, here we'll do this with my wife, you can press challenge. It will show up on the top right part of their screen. All they have to press is accept. It will take you to a new screen, and in the very middle of the screen it will show begin game. You just press on that to start a game with your friend. But if you don't have any friends online, you just want to play a game and you don't really remember the tutorial, or you want to get a little bit more practice, I recommend you press play. You come to training and you press training. Training will put you against the computer or just an AI-based player that you can practice different card combinations on. You can do some research on how one card might interact with another card, or you can just take a little bit more time to study how to drop cards onto different rows. Now, we'll get more into the specific gameplay in a bit. Just note that this is how you can exchange your cards. You can see the redraws remaining on the left-hand side. After you've exchanged the number of cards that you want, say I only wanted to do 2 and I wanted to keep the rest, I can press this check mark to move forward. But if I need some more time to look, I can also press this little eye right here. This will collapse my deck so I can see both what the enemy is, how many cards he has in his deck, plus the 10 in hand, what leader ability he has by clicking and holding on him. See here that he can spawn a drone on an allied row 5 different times, and whenever he plays an organic card, he spawns a random drone. You can also see my leader ability, where I can move a unit under guerrilla tactics. And then I can also see what the special is that's on the board for whoever is going first. This is my advantage. It allows me to spawn and play a Squirtle Neophyte. For everyone else, whenever you first start this game, it will just be tactical advantage and boost one of your unit cards by 5 when you play it. I can also, however, see my deck, which allows me to scroll through and see what cards are available. Note that I only have 13 here because I discarded 2 cards as part of Mulligan. They will not be drawn during this round. Instead, they go to the bottom of the deck and are reshuffled in at the beginning of next round. Sorry, they do not go to the bottom of the deck. They get set aside and shuffled in. That matters for some certain cards. So anyway, when you're ready, then you can press the check mark and begin play. Even though I have 1 redraw remaining, I'm deciding to just stick with this deck. Now you just drop your cards wherever you want them and play the game. But we'll get more into how exactly you can play the game, different card strategies, what turn advantage means, why you want to play certain cards when, and how each of the different definitions and factions interact with each other. But for now, just practice some games, get out there, train up a bit, and go Gwenting. Thanks for joining. Have a great day.